YouTube, NFL season is here. It's among us. We've been waiting all year. We've been waiting since February, but we're here. We're back. Week one's coming up. We got the Cowboys and Eagles that are about to play. Y'all see which team I'm rocking with. We're ready. I wanted to be able to be more consistent this year. I know I dropped a couple videos before, but this season I want to be able to show that I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to drop weekly recaps on the season. I'm gonna give out my MVP of each season. Not of each season, of each week. Get my MVPs. I'm gonna get my offensive, defensive, and just overall impact players that people are gonna miss out on. I'm gonna be able to talk about some fantasy football on here, keep y'all updated with what's going on in my fantasy football league, and just overall bring a new safe space to the football community. I know there's not many creators out there that are making a lot. There's people who have huge podcasts and maybe you don't have the time to watch a 2-hour, 3-hour long podcast, but be able for me to drop you a quick small video to catch you up on what's going on this football season. Being in this creative space, I do want to ensure that I'm keeping my videos very professional, so I will be trying to watch the games with a very unbiased opinion towards any team, even if it's my team. If we're doing something bad, I'm going to call them out for it, because that's just what you do if you're in the sports world. And just overall, I'm hoping that we can go through this journey together and be able to continue with the sports world and try and make an impact in my own way. Starting with the fantasy football, I'm coming off a championship in my league this past season, actually back to back. So going for my third chip in a row if I can hopefully get it. It's a 12-man league. This season we ended up doing keepers. I have Josh Allen, I have Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those are my 4 keepers from this past season. In the draft, I was able to pick up like Jackson Smith-Njigba. He was on my team last year as well, but fell to me in the draft again for a keeper. I'm ecstatic. I've been missing football for so long. We had college football, so I'll be trying to drop videos on that as well. Starting with my Texans, I have high hopes for them. The season was really good. I feel like we're going to come back and have a bounce back. CJ had a little sophomore slump, but not too bad. We had an O-line just be horrendous last season. Hoping that this season we can come back and make a bigger impact. Nico Collins, he's here, he's back, he's healthy, so that'll be a big impact. We've made a lot of additions on the offensive side of the ball, bringing in Nick Chubb. We brought in Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel. On the defensive side of the ball, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, get well soon. He'll be back on the defense. Jalen Petrie will be back and he's healthy. You got year 2 Kalen Bullock, year 2 Kamari Lassiter, Derek Stanley coming off his all-pro season. Will Anderson will be an all-pro this year. It'll be a very great season for us. So I'll start with the AFC South since I say that. I have the Texans winning the AFC South. No bias there. I do feel like the Texans just are the best team in the AFC South. I'll jump over to the AFC West. I have the Chiefs winning it again. I do have the Chargers making the playoffs. And yeah, that's pretty much it out of there. But my sleeper team in the AFC is the Las Vegas Raiders. I do see the Las Vegas Raiders also being another playoff team over there with Geno Smith, Ashton Jeanty. I feel like we'll have a really good season, freshman year season. Brock Bowers is going to have a crazy season this year, I feel like, especially now having a lot more of an upgrade at QB. So I'm excited to see what Brock Bowers can do over there. Switching over to the AFC East, have the Buffalo Bills. I don't think anybody else in that AFC East division is really just there to compete. I can be proved wrong. Again, this is just my hot takes, my predictions of the season. AFC North, I have the Baltimore Ravens winning, with the Bengals being in a close second. I think the Bengals can have a bounce back season this year. Their defense was just horrible last year. So I have the Bengals going pretty well this season, but also the Baltimore Ravens winning that division out there. So with that being said, my playoff predictions, no seeding at all, because I'm not doing record, I'm not doing scheduling. I'm just my 7 playoff teams out of the AFC: the Ravens, the Bengals, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Raiders, and the Chargers. Those are the teams that I have making the playoffs out of the AFC. Switching gears to the NFC, we'll start with the NFC East, as they have the defending champions. I have the Eagles winning that division again. Hopefully this game tomorrow, or later today actually, with the Cowboys is really well. I hope the ring ceremony goes well for them. And overall, I feel that they'll be able to make a large impact this season. We'll jump over to the NFC North. I have the Minnesota Vikings. I have the Minnesota Vikings winning that division. I do really like the Lions. I do think that the Lions will also be a playoff team, but I have the Minnesota Vikings winning that division. My winner out of the NFC South, I'm going with the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think Baker Mayfield is a solid quarterback. Mike Evans, Hall of Famer, in my opinion. And yeah, I have the Bucks coming out of the NFC South. As for the NFC West, it's hard to say. It's like they're all pushing towards, okay, we're gonna be playoff teams, but not necessarily like, oh, we're going for it all. And the biggest move that was made in the NFC West was Devontae Adams going to the Rams. That's probably the biggest one. Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. But how much does that raise the floor or the ceiling for any of these teams? I have the Rams winning the division with a close second place being the San Francisco 49ers. I can go ahead and drop my NFC playoff predictions for who will make it. Out of the NFC North, I have the Vikings and the Lions making the playoffs. Out of the NFC East, I have the Eagles making the playoffs, and I also have the Commanders making the playoffs on the back end at a wild card spot. I have the Bucks making the playoffs. Out of the NFC West, I have the Rams and the 49ers making the playoffs. My wild guess for my fandom, I want to see Texans versus Lions. That's what I want to see in the Super Bowl. Just because, of course, I want to see my team win the Super Bowl. We are for sure an AFC Championship team this year. I want to see the Ravens and the Lions. I want to see the Ravens and the Lions. I have really high hopes in the Lions this year. Out the NFC, I think they will have another amazing offense and another good year. And I don't think there will be a Jaden Daniels that they run into this year in the playoffs. So I see the Ravens and the Lions making the Super Bowl, but I also see the Ravens and the Texans in the AFC Championship, and it'll be a close game. And I'm hoping that everybody's excited for this season. I'm excited for this season. In the comments below, I want you to drop your favorite team, and you tell me some of your predictions. Tell me stuff you want to see in these videos, because I'm going to try and do a couple recaps a week. I'm going to try and do a overall week recap, because there's a lot of games played on Sundays. I don't have the time and the capacity to be able to do a recap on every single game. I'll try and hit the big ones if they're really close or like a really great game. I'll try and mention those, but overall it's just a lot. So I'm probably gonna do a weekly recap. There will always be a Texans recap, just because that's my team. I'm gonna watch every game, all 17 games. The Texans will get watched, so there will for sure be a Texans recap, a weekly recap, and I'll try and do a Thursday night and a Monday night football game recap and see if I can get those. And yeah, just let me know. Tell me who's on your fantasy football team, if you're excited, what trades can be made. And yeah, all right, y'all. Peace.